Well, this is a nice change of pace, me starting a video with my base already on. So I'm going to be using the Nikki Tutorials palette today. If you would like to see my review, I swatch every single eyeshadow on my eye. I actually apply it and blend it out so you can see how every eyeshadow works that's in this palette. I will have it linked up above. And then I also did a 3 looks 1 palette with this as well. If you'd like to check it out, it'll also be linked throughout the video and down below. Today, I just want to kick it back, chat, do some makeup. This is a makeup look that Katie Hodges did. I'm going to do it a little bit different than hers, but the main idea is still there from hers. So her video will be linked down below. Let's zoom in and get started. For my base, I just use concealer and set with powder. I've had this on a couple of hours, so my under eyes are a little bit creasy. So I will show you how you can mask creasy under eyes with eyeshadow in this video as well. So the first thing that I'm going to do is dip into Mila, which is this nice caramely brown. I just drug my nail through 2 eyeshadows. Why is it literally 1 minute and 30 seconds in? I dropped something, I messed something up. Okay. What was I even saying? I'm using Mila to start off with. This is a Morphe M433. And I'm going to discuss 2 different techniques that you can use for your eye shape. So what I'm going to do is focus on holding my brush near the end so it's more loosey-goosey. You always want to tap off the extra because it's easier to build up your eyeshadow than try to take it away. So what I'm going to do is use the curvature of my eye socket to my advantage. So I'm just tapping this shadow into place. And I'm going to bring this to about here, the halfway point. That's as far in as I'm going to distribute the product. And then now with little wiggly motions, I'm going to start blending that outer corner out. And now what I'm going to do, because I like to have a really open, wide inner corner, I like to have a lot of depth and dimension as close to the crease as possible. So right where we applied that, but I don't want to drag that all the way so low there because it can close your eye off. So what I'm going to do is work at a slight angle. So whatever is left on my brush, very lightly, barely touching my skin, I'm going to start following again the outer edge of my orbital shape. I do like to bring my eyeshadow in. I feel like it just adds some more definition to your face. And I feel like it also helps open up that inner corner too because you're bringing the shadow so far in. And again, barely touching my skin. I'm blending this pretty close to my brow bone. And just light as a feather, I'm going to work on blending this. You can keep this at a more rounded shape, but if you want to have more of that lifted cat eye, what I also recommend doing is whatever's left on your brush, you could just take it and start flicking the shadow outward. Today I'm going to keep it more rounded, but if you did want to have more that cat eye effect, you can even take a little bit more, deposit a little bit more color, tap most of it off, and then again, you just want to flick your brush upward and outward like so. So that's 2 different eye shapes that you can play with. So while I'm blending this, I do have some announcements. It's going to be a busy month for October. I have a Halloween video every single week the month of October, and I'm so excited to share with you what I've been creating. I was a little ambitious and thought in my mind like I was going to do 31 days of Halloween, which like who did I think I was? That's so much. So it's going to be limited to at least once a week. If I can get some more content out in the next couple of weeks as October is happening, I will do that. But for right now, I will have at least 1 Halloween based video every single week. But let me know what you guys would like to see. Would you like to see more Halloween, makeup ideas? Or would you like a mix of regular content and Halloween videos? Let me know. I just love Halloween time so much and doing super creative makeup, so it's fun for me to do, and I also like watching other people do it. So we may not all be going out to parties this year, but we can at least watch for fun in the safety of our homes. So, what is happening in this video? Oh my God. Mars is in retrograde and it's really trying me. So another thing that you can do, again, you don't have to use these shadows. The shadows that I'm using are all shadows you might have in your collection that are similar. If you wanted to, you know, add more depth and dimension, but you don't have a ton of shadows to do so, you could just keep building it up. So you can kind of see, for example, here, how it's darker here than it is up there. So you can kind of keep layering and blending that way. So now what I'm going to do is tapping most of this off and holding my brush almost at a completely vertical angle. I'm gonna run this under my eye. I'm also leaving the very inner corner open again. And what I like to do is kind of like squint my eye a little bit so you can see where your eye bag is. And that's kind of how much I like to blend it out, because I really smoked it out up to my brow bone. I can get away with smoking it out more on the lower lash line. And this is also gonna help fill in your creases from your concealer, what I mentioned earlier at the beginning of the video. So that is a nice trick. You can just pack some shadow down there and your creases won't be as noticeable. And if you are gonna smoke out your lower lash line, you can completely not even have concealer here if you have that much of an issue. If you find that your shadow creases with it, don't put concealer all the way up to your lower lash line. Like maybe just have it here where it's actually going to be showing if that's an issue that you have. So Mars retrograde has not been playing around. When they said that it was going to hit Aries more seriously than other people, that was not a drill. That was no joke. I was actually having some camera issues because when I went to go film a grocery haul, which will be up on my channel later this week from Trader Joe's. I went to go film that, bring my little ring light into the kitchen, and my camera was loose, unknown to me, was loose, and it fell on the lens and it couldn't read my lens anymore. So I had to buy a new lens. Luckily, I was telling myself the positive outcome is at least I only had to buy a new lens and not a whole camera. So I'm very happy to have not spent over $1,000 on a new camera, thank God. So what I'm going to do is just take this big fluffy brush and just kind of blend everything out. Even like my eye is starting to crease because I've just had this base on for so long. I'm also interested to see if the quality is going to be different because I've had the camera that I was using for almost 6 years and that lens was like getting to be kind of disgusting. So I'm interested if I'm going to notice a difference in quality once I get this up. So now with the smaller brush, this is a 506. You can just see it's a lot smaller. It's more precise. It's a lot easier to build up the depth in your crease without it being like too much, you know? So I'm going to take the shade 5 AM. So like this deep corduroy kind of chocolatey brown. And it's going to be a very similar process. Only I'm not going to blend this up as far, so I'm just really going to pack this on right here. And I'm not really going to pack it on past the iris. And I'm also going to start putting this in the lower outer third as well. And just work on blending it. So today I got Dunkin' Donuts for the first time in close to 10 years. So I've been watching a lot of like not beauty content on YouTube. I've been watching more like lifestyle content and I see everybody trying like the fall menu drinks at Starbucks. I'm a Starbucks girl, okay? So already stan. But I saw people reviewing Dunkin' Donuts fall menu and I saw people say that the Dunkin' Donuts pumpkin spice latte had more flavor and more sweetness than the Starbucks one. And I was like, oh, that's interesting because there's one literally right down the street from me and it is less expensive than Starbucks. So I was like, let me see how this is, because if I can save some money and not drive as far, then cool. because when I first tried Dunkin' Donuts, it just tasted like dirty dishwater, and like I thought it was disgusting, and I didn't understand why people like it. So I go up to Dunkin' Donuts and I order a medium iced pumpkin spice latte with oat milk. And the guy goes, "So you wanted a vanilla latte?" And I'm like, "No, pumpkin spice latte, please." And he's like, "Okay, vanilla and caramel latte coming up." And I was like, "I'm sorry, like I want the pumpkin spice." And he's like, "Uh-huh, so go ahead and just pull forward then." And I'm like, did he even get my order right? Like what is happening? So I pull up. I also ordered 2 donuts because I feel like how can you not order donuts when you're at Dunkin' Donuts? So I ordered 2 donuts, and instead of having like that little film of paper like that they pick the donut up in, they smashed my 2 donuts together. Like literally they had fingerprints like indented, like smashed where they picked it up from, and they put it frosting to frosting. So it was just one giant gooey sticky mess that was just thrown into a bag without any paper. And I was just like, what the hell is this? And then they just handed me my drink, and I said, "This is a pumpkin spice latte, right?" And the guy just didn't answer me, like nothing. And by the way, I shouldn't be saying guy, I should be saying kids, because like they definitely looked like 2 high school kids. So I was just like, "Okay, well, thank you so much, have a good day." And the guy goes, "Uh-huh," and just shut the door. Like, and I was just like, oh, damn, okay. So yeah, I take a sip of my drink, not knowing what it is, and it tastes disgusting. Like there's no flavor. It just straight up tastes like bean juice, like horrible. I hate the taste of like, I can't drink espresso or normal. I need my coffee to not taste like coffee. So it was just straight up coffee disgustingness, and there's no hints of pumpkin, like nothing. So I'm like, I don't even know if this is correct. Now I kind of have the shadow, you can see like on the side of the brush. So what I'm going to do with this is tap it off, and I like to use smoky liner. So what I do is like I just wiggle the brush between my lashes because I just like having that shadow there, so that when I put down a thin line of eyeliner, it just like looks blended and smoky. It's just, I don't know, I feel like this is like my one signature thing that I always do with my eyeshadow. I just like the way it looks. So anyways, I like sent a message out to my friends, and I was just like, dude, this tastes like butt shit. Like what? I was like, maybe I need to try again and like order on the app so I know it's right. And then they were like, no, Dunkin' Donuts literally tastes like dirty dishwater and butthole. So I was like, okay. And they're like, no, like literally you probably did get the correct order. So I thought it was gross. The service was horrible. So in my mind, I'd rather just spend the $2 more and go to Starbucks where I know I'm gonna have friendly customer service, and I know what I'm getting. So that's my Dunkin' Donuts rant. I will say it is very powerful because I've only had this much, and I feel like my brain is going to vibrate out of my skull. I'm so sensitive to caffeine. So sorry if you like Dunkin' Donuts out there, but I thought it was absolutely disgusting. I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing on this Morphe M432. I'm going to stamp 5 a.m. right here up to my lash line, and then we will blend it out. And then again, I'm only bringing this in about as far as where my iris starts. Keep that inner corner open. And I'm just going to, no new product, blend it out with this. And speaking of my grocery haul, I'm doing a grocery haul because I went to Trader Joe's for like the first time. Okay, it's my second time, but my first time buying anything. And I just think that those are so fun to watch. I've been watching Costco hauls and Trader Joe hauls. So you guys will have to let me know what you guys like from there. But I also have a question because it was literally like the worst experience of my life being in that grocery store. Picking up an E36 with more 5 a.m. The first time I went to Trader Joe's was back in February before COVID, and I literally had a panic attack. Like, I had shortness of breath. I was like, my vision was getting fuzzy. I was starting to black out because I'm not familiar with anything in there. And I feel like you go to Trader Joe's for very specific things. Like, the layout of the store is so not like other grocery stores. And there were so many people there, even though I went right when it opened in the middle of the week. And everybody was just like shoving around, and I just like couldn't handle it. I had a legitimate panic attack and had to leave. And I've just been kind of waiting ever since to go back in. So now I'm going to take a mix of All In and Underground. Underground is gonna go more in the inner corner, inner part of my eye. This is gonna go more all over. I'm applying with my finger because these apply best with your finger. And you don't need to do a cut crease. Obviously you can, but these shimmers are so, like, obviously they're so opaque. You can kind of fake a cut crease without actually doing one. And that's why I love these shimmers so much. If you want it to be a little bit less intense, go in with a brush. So I was like, okay, like I saw again a fall grocery haul for Trader Joe's. So I was like, I just need to suck it up and go. And my anxiety has been better. And I was just like, I don't know, maybe there won't be as many people. Boy, was that an incorrect thought to have, because it was more crowded than ever. Again, I went shortly after opening on a Thursday. It was so packed. And I feel like they are the most aggressive shoppers. Even though we're still in the middle of the pandemic, there are people reaching and grabbing around you. And I'm just like, personal space, do we still not understand what that is? So yeah, is that like the experience at your Trader Joe's? And trust me, I am someone that is very much in and out of the grocery store. Like, I hate when people walk slow and don't know what they want, blah, blah, blah. So it was like, I would say I had an anxiety attack. Like, towards the end, I started getting like really panicky. Like, the guy at the register was trying to talk to me, and like I could not focus on what was happening in front of me. Like, I was just trying to like insert my credit card to pay, and I could barely do that because like my vision started to get fuzzy and blurry because I was so like panicked just from being in there and all the people and how they were acting. So is that like the norm for Trader Joe's? I was like, oh, maybe people would be like, you know, more zen there, but maybe it's just my location. So let me know in the comments. Now what I'm going to do for the pop of color, and I loved watching Katie's video, by the way, because I completely forgot about these. This is the NYX Jumbo Pencil in Milk. Normally I just have it on my waterline, which I do now. But yeah, I forgot to use it as a base for stuff. So what I'm going to do is tap this into the inner corner. I'm not going to be shy with it. And then I'm just gonna quickly blend it out with my pinky. You could also use a brush if you can't get up there with your finger. I'm just gonna quickly clean my E36. This is just like a little swatch stick. This is like a dry makeup brush cleaner that I got for $5 at Ulta. You can also get them on Amazon. But I'm gonna take the shade Plot Twist because it's just a fun pastel color. And this is what I wanna talk about in this video, is using pops of color, because when I did my when I did my review, I was like, you can also, if you're not like a bright rainbow person like I normally am, you can use these pops of colors in different ways without it being so like, and this is one of them. So Plot Twist is what we're using today. You could also use Blah for an inner corner highlight. You could take Ew, you could use Blend and Snap, Redemption. All those would be great pops of color for the inner corner. Even the red, if you wanted to go there and be super bold. And then for the lower lash line, Slasher would be great to use a pop of color on your lower lash line. Ew, Amsterdam. So you do have options for using this palette and keeping the color pretty minimal. So I like using the E36 because it's nice, a round little brush. It fits in there perfectly. And this is just really gonna grasp onto the white base that we put down. So I am just literally packing this on because I want it to be impactful. I know my idea of a wearable smoky eye, which is this, isn't everyone's idea. Most people tone it down more than I do, so you don't have to pack the shadow on quite like me. So just take little bits from my video and apply it to your own makeup. So what kind of content have you guys been enjoying lately? Is there something different you would like to see from me on here? Let me know. I feel like I'm kind of open to doing more lifestyle things, but it just feels so foreign to me because I've been doing beauty-based videos for such a long time. I'm just gonna blend those edges really quickly. And you can also do that with the glitter if you feel like it's a little all over the place. You can just kind of do a once over. So this is what the eyes look like. I'm just going to take my brown liquid liner from House Labs and do a thin line. I don't like a giant winged liner. That looks stunning on other people, but it stresses me out too much. I'm also so interested in trying Rare Beauty, but I just can't bring myself to spending like the $130 or whatever it is that I would need to spend to get all the products that I want. So that's kind of what I'm deciding about, because right, all the reviews look so good and I love trying out different concealers and foundations and it just looks so promising, and I heard that it's great for dry skin. So would you guys be interested in like a video testing the products out from me, or like if you've tried the products, let me know your thoughts in the comments. And while this look would look amazing with falsies, I hate wearing them and I'm not just gonna slap them on for a video. That's been like my attitude lately. So I have been using the Urban Decay Lash Freak mascara. I've really been liking it a lot, so if you would like to see it in action and like a more in-depth review on it, I'll have that video linked up above. But I'm just gonna throw this on my upper lashes. I'm gonna use my MAC Giga Blast on the lower lashes, and we'll be back to do blush and lips. All right, so we are back. All I did was do my lip liner off camera. This is Morphe lip liner in the shade Love Bite. So my lips are really dry. I'm gonna do lips first and then move on to blush. This is a Morphe gloss. Why do I want to call this blush? In the shade Boho. So this is going to lighten it up a little bit. I actually like the formula of their glosses. I think it's nice. It's not too sticky. This came in like a lip kit that Lipstick Nick put together. That was like from a while ago. I think like last year or something. So that is nice and simple for the lips. And then for blush today, of course, I'm using my Moon Prism blush palette by Lunar Beauty. I am going to use this one, Stargaze, and then also Spacey. So let me know, like, I know I'm asking you guys a lot of comments about content that you want to see, but I'm just curious to get your feedback on things. So for me, I could do easily a couple more looks using the Nikki palette. Do you guys like seeing multiple videos with the same palette, or would you like it more spread out, or are you over it? Let me know, because I know I can do some more vampy fall makeup looks with this palette. So that's kind of my thought process. This blush is so pigmented. It's so much more pigmented in person. So now I'm gonna go into Spacey, which is a little bit darker. And I'm really gonna focus this on this part of my face since it's a darker blush, and kind of use it for contouring almost. So that is gonna wrap it up for today's fall inspired makeup with a pop of color. I hope this gave you some inspiration. This is like a lighter fall look since we're just getting into it. You know, if we weren't in the middle of a pandemic, it would be good for like apple picking or a pumpkin patch. But unfortunately, I will be living those memories in my head. So thank you so much for taking the time out of your day and hanging out with me. I hope you liked more of this chit chat video. I do have a bunch of exciting content coming up, so be sure to subscribe if you aren't. Give me a thumbs up if you like this. I hope to see you down in the comment section, and I will see you in the next one. Bye everyone.